Okay, part two. I'm back. I'm feeling a little bit better now. Yeah. Let's pretend that didn't happen. So, we're talking about martial arts and what works and what doesn't work, and all the videos that I've seen of people saying what will and won't work. It's kind of like the same thing with people who are, for a lack of a better term, attacking Frank Dukes and Oshida Kim. Alright? Now, I can't really knock them for attacking Oshida Kim. I really can't knock him for that because he's definitely not Japanese or Korean. I don't know if his martial arts are real or whatever. I'm pretty sure I can probably take him though. That was a joke. All of that. Now let's keep it real. As I was saying, I grew up fighting. From 6 years old to 12 years old, I was a street fighter, then a martial artist, and as I got better at martial arts, I got wiser, and I didn't fight unless I had to. I can tell you offhand, at the age of 15, I had a fight for a week. It's like every day of the week except for Wednesday, I got to fight with somebody in West Haven, which is the projects here in Charlottesville, one of the projects. And I got to fighting like every day over something stupid. Being a half-breed, one of my best buddies, he kicked me in the ass, and I fell on my face in the dirt, and I spun kicked him, and that was Monday. Tuesday, I got to arguing with another guy, and another guy boasted the fight so bad that the two guys, I just knew they were going to whoop my ass. I never expected them to run, and they ran. I was expecting them to whoop my ass, and I was going to have to crawl home. But that didn't happen. They ran. And respectfully, I'm kind of glad that didn't happen because it was 2-on-1. I would learn later in life that I actually can't handle two people at once. But that's another story. Then I got to fighting with the two guys that ran's younger brother while playing wrestling because I was Rugged Ronnie Garvin and my friend was Sting, and I had to take on 4 people. Now, in real life, I don't know if Rugged Ronnie Garvin knows Kung Fu, but I know I do, and that fight happened because I couldn't reach my tag team partner, and my tag team partner happened to slightly remind me, say, "Hey, James, you know Kung Fu, right?" And I wasn't trying to break character, and I was like, "But Rugged Ronnie Garvin doesn't." He said, "But you got 4 guys on you and you know Kung Fu. Maybe you ought to break Rugged Ronnie Garvin for just a second." So I stopped being Rugged Ronnie Garvin, the Hands of Stone, and started being James Williams Jr. And the thing that taught me was, before the fight really got going, was that, I'm actually not that bad at this shit. So I shook the first 2 guys off me, no problem. Then I shook the 3rd guy off me, no problem. The 4th guy was a bit more stronger, and I kicked the shit out of him. So then he picked up a stick, and I picked up an iron pipe, and I said, "You go first." He dropped the stick, and I dropped the pipe, and the fight was over. Knowing that I kicked the shit out of him was clearly enough for him to reconsider hitting me with that wooden stick, being that I had a piece of rhubarb with some cement attached to it. So yeah, and I told him he can go first, which only proves the point that I was a complete idiot and crazy. Some of that has not changed. The very next day, after school, my little sister, one of them, and I got into a tiff, and she escaped, and she ran, and it's like Hermes, the god from the Greek mythology, got into her feet, and I caught her just as she couldn't climb that fence. And about that time, some guy who had I'm a superhero syndrome, I'm leaving names out, because I'm not bragging, I'm just telling the facts, hit me with a bunch of those rubber rock things in the projects. We just got those. We used to have concrete. We just got those rubber rock things when they redid our park. And I put my hand up to her and I said, "Today is your lucky day." Now, while this guy was sitting down, for the record, him and I had conflict before. We just didn't have any confrontation. There's a difference between conflict and confrontation. And while he was sitting there, I knew he was a big guy. I just didn't realize how big he fucking was. Now, I'm 15, he's 13. But he's the size of a grown-ass man. And I tagged him. And it didn't hurt him. It didn't hurt him at all. And the worst part is I went up and hit him with my weakest hand to begin with. Went up there and I figured, I'd let him know who the fuck was boss. And I tagged him with my left hand. And then he stood up. And it was like my soul jumped out my body and said, "You're fucking dead, buddy." And I'm looking at this guy, and when he stood up, he pushed me. And though my soul was still in my body, it didn't feel like it at the time. So I slid to a fighting stance, and I'm wearing these McGregor golf cleats that I still have to this day because they saved my life. I would not have won that fight without two factors. The first factor, I was scared as shit if my skills were going to fail me. And the second factor was those motherfucking McGregor golf cleats, which I still have to this day, in my shed outside, and I will never lose them because they saved my life that day. And I keep things that save my life. Alright? So, when he pushed me and I slid back to a stopping stance, and I looked at him again, and I thought to myself, I know this guy has asthma. If I can induce an asthma attack, I can win this thing. And so I was thinking, what am I going to do to induce this asthma attack? By the time I'm thinking this big kid is charging the fuck out me like Ball Bull from fucking Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and he's coming right at me. And I'm thinking to myself, motherfucker, you're going to die. And so I took my right foot and I kicked the guy square in the face. It didn't really hurt him. And it was a basic front kick. It was going up into it. It was going to be an axe kick, but he kind of came in as the foot was going up. So it caught him with a front kick. And he shook it off. Like, it didn't really hurt him. It let him know he was hit, but it didn't really hurt him. If anything, it pissed him off. And about that time, my soul jumped back out my body and said, motherfucker, you're going to die. And the only thing I could think of was asthma attack. Asthma attack. I know this guy has asthma because I was there when the hospital took him away. So I committed to throwing as many left punches as I could. Now here's what I remember versus what actually happened. What I remember was throwing 3 consecutive left blows trying to give him an asthma attack. What the people in the park said was I threw about 15 blows left and right-handed, and I don't remember none of that shit. So kudos to the people that saw that shit. I'm not saying this as a means of bragging on this fight. I'm just saying this is what works. This guy didn't know martial arts, which is what saved my ass because I did know martial arts. I've also been in 4 fights prior to that in that entire week. And prior to that, I've been in many street fights 3 years ago when I was 12 years old. My dad, was the last street fight I got in was when my dad snatched me the fuck off of this kid that I still have apologized to, which I apologize again. And that was the last time I ever fought, ever, until I turned 15. And my dad made me promise not to fight unless it was an emergency, and I'll tell you about another story on that later. So, when he faded off me a little bit, he had some help. I'm leaving that part off. He had some help. And this person that helped him, I drew my hand back to hit that person, and it felt like my hand was on fire. And it just would not leave the chamber. It was locked and loaded. It just went on fire. And then he grabbed my foot, the right foot, the one that kicked him. And his partner was pulling me this way, and I knew if I go down, I was a dead man. So I took my left foot with my McGregor golf cleats on and just started raking it across his face. Long story short, if you're fighting someone who does not know martial arts, you're probably guaranteed, if you're a martial artist, for that shit to work. You know, that's the long and short. Now I will tell you when martial arts does not work. Okay? So, if you haven't seen one of my videos, I'm pretty sure I did a video, I don't remember the name of it, but I was talking about how I almost got arrested for driving a stolen car. Because my cousin set me up and somebody bust me in the face with the skipping style of martial arts. Which does not really exist, but it exists to me. Because this guy skipped right up to the car that I was driving and stole me in the face twice and broke my glasses and cut my face. And the reason why martial arts didn't work was because I was trapped in a seatbelt. And I couldn't get it off. And when I got it off, this 400-pound cop from Albemarle County sat on top of me with his arm under my throat, telling me he got me. The whole time, my left hand's on his gun. He's like, I got you, son. I got you. I said, no, sir. I got you. My left hand's got your gun. But I don't want you. I want the fucker that broke my fucking glasses and cut my eye. And then the cop goes, well, you know you stole his car. I said, this is my cousin's car. No, son, this car is stolen. So I gave him my wrist. He put the bracelets on me. Pretty much started de-escalating the situation right there. But then this big brother was talking shit, and I was about ready to choke the fuck out of him. And the cop started telling me I can't be threatening people. And I said, oh, I'm not threatening him. I'm going to kill him. And he said, you don't have weapons. I said, what the fuck do you think these handcuffs are? Because they have no idea who the hell I was. I was trained by a Green Beret before I ever got into the Army. And then I was also a martial artist on top of that. I've been trained how to fight with my hands bound, but only in the front. I tried that shit behind me. It's not comfortable, it's not fun, and it sucks when you can't get your feet from behind your legs to get out. Okay? So yeah, if you're not flexible, training with your hands bound behind you is not fun at all. Not saying it's not impossible. And in my younger days, I've done some amazing shit. But at this time, I was in my mid 30s, early 30s, somewhere in there. I think I was in my early 30s. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that if you're going to fight someone who doesn't know martial arts and you are a martial artist, it's more than likely most of the shit that you've learned will work against someone who doesn't know martial arts or how to fight at all, which was the point of those stories. And they were the short versions of those stories. As I've been in many fights before those, I've been in many sparring matches. I've probably lost maybe 3 sparring matches in my entire life. But that's only because they were sparring matches, and most of the time, by the second or third round, everybody I've ever fought has been winded. Because me personally, I live for this shit. Now, martial arts is my life. I don't give a fuck if I lose a sparring match. It lets me know what I need to improve on. But it was never like running out of energy or being low on breath, because the Kung Fu gives me life. It gives me my breath. It gives me my strength. It gives me that desire to keep going. Now, these videos that I'm talking about, there are people who are going around posting videos about what works and what doesn't work. Here's real life, alright? If you are taught properly and you practice, most of your shit should work. Now I'm going to tell you the shit that doesn't work. I'm going to tell you that because I've never used it, and I don't recommend you using it because I've seen people use it and get fucked up. It's just that simple. You don't use tornado kicks in a fight unless you have your opponent beat 7 ways from Sunday and they're already dazed and fucked up. A tornado kick is a finisher. And for those who take Kempo, it's a hurricane kick. But it's a finisher. You can use it when you're going to finish them off. Same thing with a reverse tornado. It looks good on tape. It looks really good on tape. But in a real fight, I've seen it done on some of these Taekwondo videos I've seen on Instagram. And these guys have been lucky enough to pull that off. But it's also more or less experience. If you've been practicing the fuck out of it, you're bound to nail it at least one time against an opponent. Especially if that opponent has not seen something like that before. And when they get hit, they're going to know, oh, I can't let this shit happen again. And a lot of people who do these Taekwondo tournaments and all, and they're all padded up and everything, a lot of them pull off the tornado kick. 20% of them actually nail that damn thing and level their opponent. Foot sweeps work, but when you're out in the streets, I can almost guarantee you the foot sweep will work. The tornado kick, probably not so much. You'd have to be fighting someone who has no martial art experience whatsoever. Probably someone who has no boxing experience or any fighting experience at all. Then the shit can work because you can set them up for it. If you get the good setup, then the shit will probably work. But if you get the good setup and the guy you're fighting is a martial arts expert or an ace or a savant or a prodigy, you're setting yourself up for an ass kicking. And that's just the way it is. If you're going up against, like, say, it's you fighting someone like either The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you're my size. If they fight your fight, they're probably going to lose. But if you fight their fight, you're probably going to lose. See how that works? If they fight your fight, they're fighting the way you want them to fight, you got a better chance of beating their ass. Where if you're fighting the way they want you to fight, you got a better chance of losing. I'm 5'3". I'm not afraid of these guys, but I ain't stupid. I'm not going to go start a fight with the biggest guy in the room. I'm just going to bide my time. However, if the biggest guy in the room comes after me, I'll make sure when I hit him, he's going down with one blow. He's not going to know where I hit him at, and he's not going to remember my face when he wakes up. The only thing he's going to know is, maybe I should not have done that. Because I'm going to tell you the 2 places that I'm going to hit you and in your shit, I got to get close enough to you to do it. But this right here, this kill zone, your sternum, and your throat, I'm not hitting you in the face. I'm pretty sure I'm going to piss you off. I'm not going to knock you out. I'm not that strong. I know that. But I have technique. And I know that my technique tells me that you have 365 pressure points in the human body. 250 of them will kill you dead. And guess what? I know 250 of them that will kill you dead. Now the trick is, I gotta get through your defenses to engage at least one of them. Kill zone number 2, kill zone number 1. Those are the 2 targets that I'm hitting you in. And I'm either going to do it with both hands, or I'm going to do it with one hand. And I'm going to hit you in the closest target I can get to. Fleshy. I'm not going to hit you where there's solid muscle and like shit that you can deflect the damn punch with. So, what martial arts work in a real fight, and what martial arts don't? All martial arts will work in a real fight, but all the moves will not always work in a real fight. So to those people posting these videos about what martial arts will work or what martial arts are fake and won't work, here's a tip. First, go fight a martial artist and see how well they treat you when you're fighting them. See how they lead you into their fight. Go fight a professional boxer. See how well they treat you and how they lead you into a fight. Go fight a professional wrestler. See how well they lead you into their fight. And you will learn the hard way what works and what does not. Now, if you're a martial artist and you're posting them, then you know damn well that this is probably not the best idea you're having at posting videos about what's real and what's fake. Here's the thing though. I'm going to try and do this as good as possible. Martial arts that you see on TV can work in a fight depending on your teacher. If your teacher is a great teacher and he tells you that this is not for the streets, he's probably telling you the truth. However, here's my thought on that. The first time I learned a tornado kick was in 1991, I think, whenever the first Ninja Turtles movie came out. And the guy who played the Ninja Turtle, Raphael, did a tornado kick. Not too long after that, I took Kenpo, and I learned to kick from that guy. I learned it better from watching the Ninja Turtles because he let me try it, and then he showed me how they do it in Kenpo, which is the same damn thing. Kenpo probably had a little bit more finesse, but when I did it from watching TV, it looked better that way, so I started doing it that way. No. So, yeah, you kind of can learn shit from TV, but it also depends on if you have a great teacher to guide you to make sure that you don't fuck up. Now, I will tell you this, as a fighter, I have never used tornado kick at anything outside of sparring match. In a real fight, I've never used it. I don't recommend it because I don't like getting hit in the balls. It's the same thing with a jumping spinning back kick. It's fine for TV. I don't recommend it in a real fight. In a real fight, I will tell you your 3 basic kicks that you can successfully pull off in a fight, because I have used those. Inside to outside crescent kick, where your leg's coming this way and going around. That would be this way. If someone is running at you and you do it inside to outside crescent kick, and either leg. Outside to inside crescent kick. It's a little bit more difficult for me, but it will work, because the inside to outside one will work. A jumping front kick, because once somebody's running right at you, it's kind of hard for them to stop when you're doing a basic jumping front kick. A lot of y'all will get that mistaken for the crane kick from the original Karate Kid. It basically is the same damn thing. It's just there's many different ways of doing the front jump kick. I don't recommend the Flying Dragon, which is Bruce Lee's most famous kick. I know that's just going to piss everybody off. But also the front axe kick. And then the stepping side kick or the side kick, depending on what skill you have. And the front round kick, either Taekwondo style, or karate, with or without the snap. Those are some of your basic kicks that you will use and will retain, and they will work based on your skill level and the momentum of the asshole running at you, providing that you jack them into fighting your fight. Now, I will tell you this because I can only speak from my own experiences in fighting. The kicks that I named, the outside to inside crescent kick or the inside to outside crescent kick, the front jump kick, the front push kick, the front axe kick, the side kick, the front round kick. Those kicks are usable in a real fight. They're usable in the ring, they're usable in a real fight. Spinning back kick, spinning back hook kick, which is basically it's the spinning back kick only your leg is hooked. And your feet will touch them unless you're trying to catch them inside of your knee so that you can take them down while wrapping your leg around their neck and set them up for a damn triangle choke. Those will work too. unless your opponent is like me, slightly shorter than the average person. So if you try to do a spinning hook kick to me, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna duck it and hit you right in the balls. Now, so you're gonna have to do that shit really quick, and you're gonna have to set me up for it. Now, which in one of my sparring matches with a guy who would not fight me in real life after he beat me in a sparring match, after he talked mad shit at the funeral, he wouldn't fight me. But he did the same trick on me 3 times, which means I was an idiot that fell for it 3 times. I went out of my fight into his fight. Now, when we had the sparring match, he took me down 3 times. I took him down twice. The first 2 times he took me down with that same trick 3 times. Because the first time he caught me, I didn't go down. I stumbled, but I didn't go down. The second time he caught me, I went down. Then when he did it in the second round, he did it again and caught me. So he has that one move that he could do every time and get me. And it took me a minute to catch on to it. When I realized I only had one more time to go down, I woke up. And when I woke up, I took him down 2 times. So then we had the final round, and he was a smoker, so I could have won that. But I had told myself at the beginning of the fight that I was going to lose. And that's the one thing that I've never done since that. Every time I think about fighting or getting into a fight or a sparring match, the only thing I think to myself is, I'm going to survive or I'm going to win. Either one of those or what works. I never tell myself I'm going to lose. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because your mind sets the tone. And if your mind tells you you're going to lose, and you lose because of fear or what you thought was going to happen, then you will, because you will project that shit out. But if you are in a fight and you don't know what martial art moves will work, then you will learn the hard way what will and won't work. Like I said, those kicks I just named, use those. Tornado kick, reverse tornado kick. If you haven't got your opponent beaten 7 ways from Sunday, you hang it up. If you're going to fight in an octagon setting, you have certain rules, which is why I also don't qualify for that, because they allow you to be body slammed. And I was taught to never get slammed when I was in a fight. So when someone comes to tackle me, I drive my knees into their ribs and my elbows into their shoulder blades to cut off the breath. However, I found out in the UFC, in MMA, that's illegal. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, hold on, how is that illegal? It's a fucking sanctioned street fight if you have ground and pound, BJJ, and taekwondo, and boxing, and wrestling, and everything can go in that damn ring, but you can't eye gouge, and you can't hit in the testicles. I respect that. I don't need to hit you in the eyes. I don't need to gouge them out. I don't need your testicles to beat you. I just need to stop you from breathing, which I can do that, and I don't have to be fancy about it. However, they said that, if someone's going in for the body slam and you clap down on them, it's an illegal move because you elbowed them in the spine. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. If I'm in the streets and I'm about to get body slammed, you're damn right I'm going to put my knees into this guy's sternum and I'm going to elbow the shit out of him. Whether it be his back or his neck, whatever the hell I can reach, I'm going to do it because that's what I was taught to do. So again, what martial arts work and what don't. You will find that shit out when you go fight a martial artist who's an ace or a novice. And if you can't get through that novice's defenses, then you'll know what actually works and what doesn't. So I'll make a third video